Hello and welcome to the channel. The World Bank has revealed how much the federal government will save in 6 months after removing fuel subsidy. It is a pretty huge sum, trust me. It even went as far as revealing what will be saved in a year's time, and all of a sudden, if the government decides to do the right thing by investing those money back into the country, then Nigeria is most definitely headed for brighter days. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. Federal government will save 2 trillion naira from subsidy removal in 6 months, says World Bank. The World Bank has predicted that the federal government will save 2 trillion naira in the remaining 6 months of 2023 with the removal of petrol subsidy and over 11 trillion naira by 2025. The World Bank made this projection in its June 2023 Nigeria Development Update released on Tuesday in Abuja. According to the NDU reports, the removal of the petrol subsidy and FX management reforms are vital steps towards rebuilding fiscal space and restoring macroeconomic stability. The report emphasized the need for further policy reform measures and acknowledges the critical reforms that the new administration has already initiated to address macroeconomic imbalances. It advised President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to take advantage of the opportunity to have a transformative impact on millions of Nigerians and establish a solid foundation for sustainable and inclusive growth. The NDU recommended implementing a comprehensive reform package, including a new social compact to protect the poor and vulnerable towards maximizing the collective impact on growth, job creation, and poverty reduction. World Bank Country Director for Nigeria, Shubham Chaudhuri, commended the Tinubu government's efforts to implement long-awaited reforms and emphasized the need for compensatory actions to mitigate the short-term impact on the poor. Chaudhuri also advocated for the implementation of a cash transfer program to provide relief to those most affected by higher petrol prices as part of a broader agreement to redirect fiscal resources towards development priorities. The World Bank has thrown its weight in support of the federal government subsidy removal and the exchange rate unification. This comes weeks after President Bola Tinubu's inaugural speech on subsidy removal and the need to unify Nigeria's exchange rates. Speaking at an event organized by the World Bank to assess the nation's economy in the last 6 months on Tuesday, Country Director Dr. Shubham Chaudhuri explained that the policy, though painful, remains key to rebuilding the economy of the nation. Mr. Chaudhuri, however, advocated measures that will reduce the impact on the people going forward. He stated that the World Bank's concessionary funding to Nigeria currently stands at over $10 billion. Also speaking, a lead economist at the World Bank, Alex Senart, said the removal of the fuel subsidy is projected to achieve estimated fiscal gains of about 3.9 trillion naira in 2023. The gains, according to him, are expected to reach over 21 trillion naira between 2023 to 2025. The economist further projects that the petroleum subsidy removal is likely to lead to an increase in inflation in the upcoming months before contributing to disinflation in the medium term. On the exchange rate, the senior economist at the World Bank said that the previous foreign exchange management approach impeded investment and growth, contributed to inflation, and undermined the efficacy of the monetary and fiscal policies. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and please turn the notification bell on. Thank you. Meanwhile, the World Bank has approved a fresh $500 million loan for Nigeria to help improve the livelihood of women in Nigeria. Disclosing this in a statement, the World Bank said the World Bank has approved $500 million for Nigeria for Women Program Scale Up and FWP SU. The scale-up financing will further support the government of Nigeria to invest in improving the livelihoods of women in Nigeria. The NFWP-SU will help to ensure better economic opportunities for women, which is essential for addressing gender inequality, guaranteeing better education, health, and nutrition outcomes for families, and building women's and communities' resilience to climate change. According to the World Bank, women's empowerment is essential to the ability to build resilience to climate change and, by extension, the resilience of their households and communities. It's noted that by building assets, women can better respond to family needs and mitigate risks and the effects of climate and other shocks on livelihoods, adding that gender disparities in earnings hold back the Nigerian economy. Shubham Chaudhuri, World Bank Country Director for Nigeria, was quoted as saying, "We have seen promising outcomes from the parent NFWP, which has helped to create economic opportunities for thousands of rural women through the women affinity groups. NFWP's model is helping to improve livelihood opportunities for women and enhancing their capacity to adapt to climate change and participating in local administrations for policy making related to community empowerment. Closing the agenda gap in key economic sectors could yield gains of between $9.3 billion and $22.9 billion. We are optimistic that this scale-up will help Nigeria to move closer to bridging this gap." Task Team Leader for Nigeria for Women Project, Michael Ilesanmi, was also quoted as saying, "The program aims to mobilize poor and vulnerable women into different institutions and using these institutional platforms, link them to markets as well as financial and non-financial services. Through participation in women affinity groups, project beneficiaries build social capital that can then be leveraged to access financial, political, and economic capital, thus leading to both social and economic empowerment." The statement further noted that the NFWP has been implemented in 6 states and provides support to over 427,887 WAG members through the formation and strengthening of 20,506 of these groups. It added that in about 2 years, these WAGs have saved about 4 billion naira, with a significant percentage of these funds in circulation as loans at any given time. So far, 835,573 community members have benefited from the NFWP through different interventions. That's the news, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time, bye.